Morning everybody, Matt back with you. Hope you're okay. As I walked to my location this morning, I just hit 2,500 subscribers. So before I say anything else further about today, thank you so much. If you were 2,500, thank you. And yeah, welcome to everybody who's a subscriber, new or old, and thank you for joining me over the last 4 years and 700 videos. And today we're slowing things down a little bit after our madness of October and coming back to do something that I did quite often on the channel earlier on, and that is to have a walk through a graveyard. Today I'm at Burnley Cemetery, which is in the Rose Grove area of Burnley, and it's probably one of the nearest cemeteries to me, a big cemetery, and I've never been here, and I've never covered a story that needed me to come here. And I haven't deliberately come today to film a specific story. This is just going to be a look around the graveyard. It's to look at, see what we can find, basically. I mean, as I walked in, I saw one for a colliery disaster. I haven't any stories planned, but if we find something of interest, I'll dig a little deeper and, see if we can connect any stories to them. Everybody here in this graveyard has their own story. Nobody is more or less than anybody else. So this is purely if there is information out there. I hope that makes sense. Yeah, everybody's the same. But let's see what we can find. As you can see, this is a huge graveyard. Now, although I said I haven't any specific stories to tell, I have done a very quick look, and there is a map pointing out one or two interesting graves if we find them en route. This, however, seems to be, I might not be able to see anybody on the camera. There are a lot of people here walking around, some walking dogs, some at gravesides, so I'll do this as respectfully as I can. Obviously, it is just to remember people. That's why we do these. It's not morbid fascination, as one person once accused me of. Yeah, and I suppose it's always interesting for me spotting Parkers, if that's my surname. But obviously, there's a lot of them about. So this one has certainly caught my eye. In remembrance of the people of Burnley and Padiham who died in the Spanish air disaster, July 3rd, 1970. Gosh, that's a lot of people for this area. The shock was great, the blow severe. We little thought their death so near. Only those who have lost are able to tell the pain that is felt at not saying farewell. Wow. So yeah, that seems to be a flight heading to Spain, July 3rd, 1970, and crashed into I think like a forest on a mountain. I'm not sure if everybody died in the crash. I think so. All these people were from this area on that flight, and that must have been, I mean, that is an absolute tragedy. Oh, rest in peace to all. Gladys Ray, matron of the Primrose Bank Institution. Gosh, only 33. Yeah, I've not heard of the Primrose Bank Institution. Okay, so I think what I'll do for this video, this will just be as we are at the moment. We'll walk around, we'll look at graves, find some interesting ones, interesting information. But like I say, I can't go into too much depth about anything I find today because I just don't know. So this one I'm throwing open to you, the viewer, and if there is anything further you want to know about somebody or about a happening, for example that aeroplane crash, we can do a more in-depth video. Just comment below, let us know. Tom is kind of great at looking at the archives and finding information, much better than me. So yeah, just let us know below if anything appears that you want to know more of. Some gravestones are like pieces of art, aren't they? This statue is a memorial to Private James Booth, who died in France in 1917. There's another kind of Celtic cross here. A very interesting bit added here, this harp. So I'm wondering if this is a musician, Stephen Murphy, who died on the feast of St. Bridget. Obviously not the same one. Anthony Hopkins. Again, the sculpture. It's just a real piece of artwork, isn't it? Okay, so I think this is very interesting here. Look at this. Sisters. So I'm wondering if these are all from a nearby convent. Right, okay. We have some info. Franciscan missionaries of St. Joseph. There are eight sisters under this one. But the row goes on quite a long way. I'm wondering, due to the 2015, 17, yeah, 2021, 22, maybe it still exists. Yeah, it's quite a row there. This is a fairly large grave. Right, the rector of St. Mary's, Burnley. Oh, it could be a grave for a number of, yeah, pastor of St. John's. Can't quite read that, hopefully it might appear on the camera. Another grave to commemorate a sisterhood in Burnley, Sisters of Mercy, Burnley. Obviously these are a little bit different, and they're all in one. And 1958 is the most recent, so quite a long time ago. Right, so we've now reached a part that's obviously much older, slightly less well kept. At least you can still read the gravestones. Some big ones further ahead. Let's see what they are. So this one's quite interesting. I can't quite make out what it says. To the memory of 3 officers. I'm sorry if you can read that. 1st East Lancashire Regiment, who died at Lucknow, 31st of October, 24th of February 1891 to 1896. And on it says battle honours, including Waterloo. It's interesting. Don't think that particular Waterloo. Right. This one obviously stands out. It's huge, and it says on it, memory of Thomas Healy, the father of Burnley musicians, died April 9th 1858, aged 75. Yeah, I'll just see if we can see what straight from here. Erected by the United Choirs and Musical Societies of the district, with the proceeds of an open-air memorial festival in which 1,154 vocal and instrumental performers took part on August the 5th, 1871. Wow, over 1,000 people came together to perform a concert to raise funds. Public subscription for this one. And on the top, it's too far away for me to really see. There are sheet music, there's a violin. Thomas Healy, father of Burnley musicians. That must be something we need to look into more. As you'd expect from a graveyard this size, there is a number of different religions that you find around about. There's kind of a Catholic section, there is a non-conformist section, and this little patch here, apparently up to 1970, housed an Anglican church on it. Yeah, long gone, just left now with trees. The graves around here are huge, and apparently are more aimed towards mill owners and things. But yeah, there's quite a few areas apparently where there would have been a specific church for that specific religion, if that makes sense. This tomb here for George Slater, who was a mill owner. It is a big one. There are various war graves right across the cemetery. We are only a few days away from Remembrance Day as well. Corporal William Chew died of wounds, aged 26. Well, So I've almost reached the bottom end of the graveyard now, but there are still so many graves here. What I've noticed is how many graves are obviously in need of support to stay upright. So many of them have kind of wooden braces and beams keeping them up. However, it is better than lying them down, I believe. And there's just warnings on them. This floor is unsafe, don't touch. Simple as that. Doesn't need somebody coming in and pushing them over, because they might rock a little bit. I thought that was common sense, but hey ho. A path. A path to where? Cemetery Woodland Trail. Let's have a look. No idea where we're going now. Let's get to this corner and we'll head back. It's just leading to a river. Oh, let's have a look at it. I'll tell you what, I wish I was enjoying this bit more than I am. The smell in the air is awful. But I don't know if it's literally from that. Or you can probably hear that constant noise of factories. We're surrounded by factories, possibly chemical factories, but yeah, this is not just as nice as I expected it to be. So it is beautiful here, especially at this time of year. But it is going to take me, I think, a long way away from the graveyard, so let's just have a look. Yeah, nice. I have no idea where I am. The smell is coming from that fire there. Not sure quite what they're burning, but it's not nice. So I'm probably not going to go much further now. I'll find a route to head back up. Yeah, it's mostly peaceful little cemetery, this one. Little, sorry, big cemetery, very big. Here's another circle of ground that was once a chapel. This was the area for the non-conformist chapel, demolished in 1924, and then burials done on the top. Right at the top end of the cemetery where we came in, we saw the memorial to a Hapton colliery disaster. And here we are right at the opposite end, I won't say the bottom end. Loving memory of Richard Fawcett, manager of Hapton Valley Colliery, who died from a tragic accident at Towerclough, Hapton. So I can't remember now when the Hapton colliery disaster was, going off the date at the top stone. Yeah, I don't even know where Hapton colliery was. Again, that's another story maybe. this one? PC George Donahue died from the effect of his injuries received in the discharge of his duty as a fireman. Another historical one, memory of Dan Irving, first Labour MP for Burnley. And busy in a lot of fields, Dan Irving. Burnley Schools Board, Town Council MP for Burnley, Freeman of the Borough. Yeah, don't do politics on this channel really, but in terms of historical figures we do. So the last one to show you is this one. Here lies one of the most important coaches in European football history, Jimmy Hogan. We played football as Jimmy Hogan taught us. When our football history is told, his name should be written in letters of gold. Wow. Not somebody I know particularly well. I know somebody who might be watching this who might know. Okay, there we go guys, so we'll take our leave of Burnley Cemetery for today. I hope you've enjoyed our little walk around looking at some people from the past and maybe some wonderful carvings. I think the one I'm just about to pass here, the soldier statue, is probably my favourite, and yeah, I imagine that will look quite different in about another week once we hit Memorial Day, Remembrance Day. So thanks again for joining me, and we will see you for the next video very soon. Alright, take care guys, bye for now.